Yes, this is part two. Look, I would like to commence today's lecture with a genuine case that occurred at the airport earlier today and has significant relevance to our topic. I actually created this lecture on a slide during the flight, and this morning between 5 and 6 a.m. at DAO Airport, I witnessed and even participated in such a story or event that unfolded before my eyes.
Here it is.
After the completion of passport control, following the thorough inspection, the vigilant policeman stopped a group of young men who were accompanied by their respective wives. I guess this is a person from Tajikistan, a country located in Central Asia called Tajik, and he grabbed his passport. And it became abundantly clear and indisputable that the intention was to extort money from him. The situation was, I was standing, I took a photo. The situation, I just started boiling inside from the fact that actually, because of this injustice, this guy, you see, poor thing, it was obvious that, well, he was wildly upset. His wife, you see, the police took these documents from him. He went and said, either you give them back to me, well, or you give me something in return, or I'll give you the documents. In summary, a dreadful situation. Therefore, I approached this police officer and inquired about the basis for currently detaining an individual following the search, subsequent to going through passport control in general. Then another different cop came up and started asking me, like, what are you even doing here? In short, more people approached. In short, everything is over. Fortunately, good.
Here.
He handed over the documents to the man who was accompanied by his wife. They went away, and I was there with my daughter. In that moment, the daughter burst into tears due to a stressful situation that she was experiencing at the time. I arrived at the cafe. I have not experienced such strong feelings and emotions from the current situation in a very long time. I actually started to think about what can be changed so that this doesn't happen. It is clear that in the current situation, these are global thoughts. Most likely, these factors contribute to the reality that you, as an individual, always have the ability to take action based on your own example and your own actions, thus exerting influence and making a positive impact.
So,
take action with kindness and goodness to bring about a change in this situation, considering the presence of such evil that exists in the world. How can you transform the world? It is evident, it is a strategy that is personal. Then I pondered the significance of having numerous people, the presence of a company, the absence of solitude, the existence of a certain community and culture, and how these factors, when combined, actually enhance the potential influence that can be exerted on the world to a much greater extent. And I comprehend that throughout a span of 12 years, we have established a company in which tens of thousands of individuals are employed and where there exists millions of customers, hundreds of thousands of orders and transactions. Each and every day, by simply making pizza and brewing coffee while providing exceptional service to people, we have the opportunity to demonstrate compassion, honesty, sincerity, and trust to our guests and employees. This allows us to cultivate a culture of responsiveness and build lasting relationships through our daily actions and interactions. And, it appears as if it is simply a matter of business, but on a daily basis, for instance, our customer support, which is responsible for handling complaints, certain situations, mistakes, demonstrates this level of responsiveness, sends an illustration to individuals, showcasing how it can be accomplished. And, I am in favor of this particular standpoint. It is a position that I strongly endorse and support. In general, I approached him, learned about it, but likely even came alone. What observed the world is similar to statistics, numerous participants, individuals, mathematics, and there exist sequences of malevolence and sequences of benevolence. That is conditionally. If a person was offended in childhood, he did some trauma. He will offend someone else in the future. It will all continue further. When you stop the chain of evil, and therefore
You begin a chain of good, even if it is.
If there is a small action, then evidently there is a greater quantity of goodness that exists in the world. And here's a unique situation Ilya Farafonov brought me tea. I appreciate your gratitude. Thank you for your kind words and expressions of appreciation. It means a lot. Affirmative.
The chain of goodness has started.
So he is simply rehabilitating for that. We were late. We were almost late. And in fact, I firmly believe that our company truly initiates and establishes such interconnected chains of goodness and positive impact thanks to our strong culture, innovative approaches, and unwavering commitment to making a difference in the world. And as I already mentioned to you, that this is simply a private illustration, but each and every review is significant. Every issue resolved, every sincere order fulfilled.
These chains are the ones that we create and give life to through our actions.
And you are aware, I have come across the perspective that is held by some people.
Such individuals are pragmatic and have a cynical enough approach.
In the world of business, it cannot be like that. An individual does not believe that our company has authentic working values in the form of trust and confidence, which are considered crucial for success and building strong relationships with stakeholders. Truly attentive to people, guests, aiming to create a superb product. And there is an individual who does not believe that it is possible. In my opinion, I firmly believe that our mission, to be exact, is truly inspiring and demonstrates its authenticity in a tangible manner. Perhaps on a significant scale, taking into account the fact that it is a large company with a wide-reaching impact. And it's crucial, as I've already mentioned, crucial for me when I depart. From the post, from an SEO perspective, the company will continue to develop. The company, we have preserved this sincerity, culture, and attitude. And we have extensive discussions about culture on a regular basis. The term culture is frequently mentioned in our organization because she exists, she sounds, from those who come to us. Guests, individuals who come to us and express, I have heard a great deal about you.
I arrived at work and joined Dodo, my colleague who had been waiting for me.
Understood, all you say is accurate. Certainly there exists a culture.
And what is culture? Friends, what is culture? Corporate culture, the culture of an organization.
Look, this is certainly not some slogans
Written on the walls.
Generally, when individuals gather and express such statements, let us establish a culture, as it is already fake and lacks authenticity in its current state. Well, I mean, maybe it is good. Intention, however, culture cannot be artificially created. It cannot. On the wall, write a few words, and here we have a rich culture. Culture is the actual actions of individuals, genuine. Solutions are a tangible reality. That is, the manner in which people think, the approach they take to making decisions, the operational functioning of the company. And culture is fundamental principles. Because you see, principles that are based on values act as beacons when it's challenging for you to make a decision. In such situations, orient yourself to your core values and guiding principles to find clarity, gain perspective, and make the right choice. What is this? Unshakable. This is, if we state that we desire to be a truthful company, regardless of the circumstances, in the market, we will always be honest and open. If we need to make a decision and we have no idea how to validate the solution in any way, we just say whether it corresponds to our principles or not. And these principles, they must truly work. That is, culture is alike.
What is extremely challenging to place or fit inside a box?
Ephemeral, and of course it arises. Many of you have asked me often, the question is how to maintain and preserve culture. I would like to share my thoughts now, my friends, on preserving culture and its importance. First, culture is founded on individual. She's still in our thoughts, and it is of utmost importance that individuals come to our organization as it continues to grow and evolve, which clothe our culture, which share the values of our company and are in alignment with our company's principles. This does not imply that people are exempt from the consequences. For individuals who do not share these values, they are regarded as bad. No, definitely not. This indicates that their culture is not suitable. And values are where compromises cannot be made. And I have a call to you and your future colleagues that when you will be looking for individuals to join your teams, never compromise on your standards or settle for anything less than excellence. And even if we need to decelerate, you see, when companies become excessively enthusiastic about growth and there is pressure on them to expand, they violate certain principles that should not be compromised. Suppose attracting individuals who do not fit in terms of culture and values. This gradually erodes the culture. And it is better to slow down the growth and look for the necessary, let's say, right people than to go for short-term results for the sake of what the company culture will gradually erode. And we excel in this aspect. We have attained profitability. We have been in a profitable state for a duration of 7.5 years. Do you recall? During the initial 7.5 years, we were not profitable, but presently we are generating profits and we do not face any pressure from external investors who would instruct us to accelerate growth or make concessions with our internal configurations. Here. Next, what I wanted to say is that culture relies on every individual. Therefore, the actions of each person, not just SEO, not just me, but each individual determine our culture as they serve as role models. In reality, every day, by making decisions, each of you contributes to the development and sustenance of this fire that represents our culture. There is a rule that applies to big organizations, that the greater the number of organizations, the greater the number of people, the lower the cultural concentration will be. It is inevitable, but if the company is very large, it is understandable that we cannot expect our culture to work everywhere and everything to be perfect. Needs acceptance. But at the same time, I am confident that it is possible to preserve culture even in a large organization. And here it is very important that the leaders of the company, key people, they were carriers of culture and were such, as there are molecules in atoms. Molecules consist of atoms, and these atoms are specific individuals who play a crucial role in spreading culture. And actually, if there is a specific core of the company with carriers, then it can be large, and this will once again spread and engage individuals in the culture across the entire organization. And it is very important that the leaders of the company are truly carriers of culture. And of course, I have already talked a lot about it. Not one, but the key factor in my decision in general is that Elena will become the next CEO of our company was that there were values. And I have complete confidence that Elena is undoubtedly a person who shares the same values as me without any doubt. And I am confident that she will nurture them because it is truly very, very crucial for her. The following action in preserving culture is communication, and we perform a great deal for it. I am informing you at this very moment that this video will be recorded, and it is my sincere hope that my future colleagues will have the capability to watch it on this very day, fully comprehend and grasp the essence of what I wanted to express, and understand the underlying logic and reasoning behind it. We have many instances of such communication. We possess it. However, it also requires further development, and I believe that in the future, there will emerge a few new Dodo books. Generally, we do not currently have any document that outlines the principles of Dodo in place at this time. Perhaps it is also beneficial that our culture is thriving, but perhaps it is time to document it, and someone within the company will be tasked with this responsibility. Without a doubt, in order to safeguard culture, specific procedures and regulations are required. Rituals serve as a marvelous expression for these necessary processes and rules that play a vital role in preserving cultural heritage. Certain practices are being established which, once again, reflect the culture. What is this? Let us assume that these are our regular weekly meetings that we have on a consistent basis. Weekly meetings are a reflection of our transparency. They provide a means of direct communication with the entire company, where we inform everyone about the happenings and share updates on what is currently taking place in the company. This is an opportunity. Today, our individual meetings have been consistently evolving. I believe they will continue to evolve, change their form, but I urge them to never cancel, so that we start every Monday with positive, constructive news to share about what colleagues have accomplished. And this, once more, is a symbol that you arrive at work on Monday and you refrain from discussing with your colleagues how dreadful Monday is. Once again, it is your least preferred job, but you motivate yourself with creative energy, listen to the accomplishments of your cool colleagues, and you contemplate, darn, I am capable of doing something incredible this week. And the daily meeting is our ritual. We have annual meetings where we tell all our partners, shareholders, employees, and all teams in the pizzerias about some of the biggest and most important things. Everything we do will evolve because we don't stand still. The company is growing, and obviously the meetings will be divided. That is, there will be a Dodo Brands meeting, possibly separately, Dodo Pizza separately, IMF separately, Drink It separately, because we have already become so big that it may not fit in one meeting. However, the core idea remains unchanged, that on an annual basis, we disclose the outcomes, tactics, commitments, and involve the global community, as the entire process is transparent and accessible to everyone. We summarize each year, discuss plans and strategies. Currently, we are hosting Dodo Future Week, which is also a significant part of our annual ritual and tradition. We release an open and easily understandable financial statement explained in plain language. I believe that it is essential to develop everything so that every employee of our company can have knowledge of our earnings, investments, and efficiency. And in the finance team, I believe it is necessary to consistently contemplate how to make it even more intriguing and easily understandable, involving as many colleagues as possible in the finances of the company. Gembo, friends, this is a ritual that we should never abandon, because Gembo enables us to truly feel and understand the essence of what we do for the client, providing us with invaluable insights and a deeper connection to our work. We grasp individuals. We are emotional creatures, beings, living organisms. We have the capacity to understand and empathize with others. And frequently, when you come across numbers, you may not have a complete understanding of a lot of things. It is communicating with guests, with colleagues in pizzerias, that opens up insights for you and makes the picture very clear. Thus, the value of Gembo is of immense significance and cannot be overstated due to its enormity. This is a ritual. Gembo definitely makes us step out of our comfort zone, because when you work in an office, you go to a pizzeria or a coffee shop, and it feels like you've changed roles. You're already a first grader here. You're not such a cool manager who knows everything. Gembo challenges us to break free from our usual routines and embrace a new perspective. And it is cool, first of all, to experience the feeling of being a first grader, to remain hungry, to stay foolish, and also to observe everything with fresh eyes and capture an emotional picture. Friends, what is the key factor in the existence of culture, in your opinion? We didn't discuss this aspect in the context of culture. And you know, this is a key risk that can kill culture. And I will answer this question. This is profitability. What is this? What exactly is profitability? Business efficiency enables us to maintain the culture we desire and strive for in our organization. Profitability is freedom. That is the opportunity to do business, to build as we see it, because it allows us the freedom to do what we want, pursue our vision, and create the business we envision. Hence, it's crucial to comprehend that without profitability, a company cannot exist. Thus, we must comprehend that for cultural preservation, we need to consider entrepreneurship. And I have already mentioned multiple times in our history, Case stated that we experienced a period when the company was referred to as a family. I did not like it. I believe that we should not do this because family means that family members are very important to it as a whole and important to us. But the company's attitude as a family comes to the point that we should prioritize, so to speak, family affiliation over efficiency. In summary, valuing family ties is crucial, even within a corporate setting, as it fosters a sense of unity and purpose. But if we do this, the company will cease to exist. It will be uncompetitive in the long run. Therefore, we are not a family, we are a team with shared values, principles, with a human attitude towards each other, which understands that in order for our organization, our company to exist, it must be effective. We must prioritize the business, and this is a factor that contributes to the existence of culture. Our focus should be on the business. I will once again remind you, my friends, about the importance of well-fed cats, as we possess a remarkable culture, but we must not overlook the significance of business, or else everything we cherish will cease to exist. As I already said, someday probably the principles of DODO will appear on paper, but for now I want again to remind, because actually you can remind about such things many times. What are the principles that we base our business on? The first principle is openness. Openness, when I will not delve deep into it at this moment in time, but I will say this. Openness is when you are not ashamed, not afraid to show everything we do, how we do it, to nobody, not shareholders, not your team, not clients, not a single person, does it matter. You do what you can to be open. The act of being open has the power to transform consciousness. She informs you that you are unable to conceal anything, that you possess negative qualities. You need to be receptive to clients, to colleagues, and to shareholders. Openness is the state of being open-minded, accepting of other points of view, and having a normal attitude towards criticism. Openness is the most crucial principle, the overall value of our company. Trustworthiness. Trust, you see. The principle of trust is based on the understanding that you should initially interact with individuals in a manner that fosters their genuine concern for your welfare, and all of their actions should stem from their best and most positive intentions towards you. And such an attitude actually enables us to overcome enormous difficulties in the realm of business. And this is actually, a worldview history that is people either trust or do not trust. That's it. I have said this many times in various interviews throughout my business career. Trusting people, of course, I was deceived. The company was deceived. However, the advantages of placing trust in others naturally outweigh the negative experience of being deceived by a small number of individuals with whom you will ultimately cease collaboration. And trust works miracles. This is an opportunity to generate enormous products that are consistently created by a substantial number of individuals collectively. Partnership. Partnership is a mutually beneficial relationship where you comprehend that you desire the business to generate revenue. It should generate revenue, and the customer should receive an excellent product, and the employees should receive optimal compensation for their work, and you have faith that this mutually beneficial outcome can be attained universally. And this is applicable not just to business, but also to society by paying taxes and contemplating the world around us, including nature. You firmly believe that it is feasible to construct a business and everything associated with it based on the principles of mutual benefit, aiming for long-term mutual benefit, and striving to create a positive impact on the world and the environment. Freedom. I think this is a crucial principle of our organization. You do not possess the authority or ability to impose your will upon others and compel them to act against their own volition. This is the mindset of individuals who value freedom. It is not possible to force someone to adhere to key performance indicators, KPIs, or to retain employees against their will. And it is exactly free individuals in collaboration who generate remarkable things together. I will inform you about two significant instances. Case about pizza restaurants. This case arises on a regular basis. We also have it very briefly. We often have situations where some franchisees, our partners, for example, invite employees from the pizzerias of other partners to work with us. At times, partners propose initiative. Let's ban this. Well, let's say we'll ban it within the network. You are aware this constitutes a violation of the principle of freedom and self-deception. Self-deception is that you can keep people. We need to create conditions that make people want to stay and develop in the company, not prohibit them. And in the event that they departed, perhaps there exists a greater possibility for growth in that location. It is not possible to impede natural processes.
I do not have knowledge of what it means.
And it is important to accept it is an illusion. The most important thing is that I even said that our employees in pizzerias are not serfs to whom we cannot say that they cannot switch. Friends, hold on in other ways. It merely serves to stimulate you and encourage the development of teams. And if someone departed and began developing, it's fantastic. It will demonstrate to others that they can grow within your company. It's important. The company is not a family. Where are you? I will repeat again, because everyone is free. And when a company, a family, it is a problem for an employee, because when he leaves, it's like he is abandoning his family. No, respect is present here, along with partnership and the freedom to choose. Friends, what a company we are if we're not a company but a family. So Gleb, this is about internal transition, of course. Nikki? What? However, I will provide additional comments once I have completed. What a company are we? Look, friends, I am often asked, I hear that DODO is a turquoise company, turquoise firm. I will respond to you, DODO is not a turquoise company, and I will explain to you the reasons. To begin with, I do not endorse the idea of creating companies solely based on books and generally having unwavering belief in something. Completely and unequivocally having unwavering belief. I will provide you with information about it at a later point in time. I have an absolute belief in certain theoretical schemes. Why? Because life, while formulating certain theories, commencing with Marxism and culminating with the theory of spiral development, individuals, researchers, sociologists, intellectuals, they seek to simplify and make sense of the complexity of reality. And this is merely a scheme. If you regard this scheme as some sort of absolute guide to taking action, it is certainly incorrect. In my opinion, it can be described as a bull chat. I am determined not to give up. This serves as my disclaimer regarding companies associated with turquoise. But to allow everything to pass through oneself completely, this is likely a message, once again, to future colleagues. Our company will partner with consultants and has partnered with consultants, resulting in attraction. Fascinating books are going to be published, and my response is to consistently allow it to flow through me. This is merely knowledge, experience, and theory that can be utilized with this tool, but we must exercise independent thinking since we are engaged in business and bear responsibility for it. And I was wondering before this lecture, what kind of company did he build? Why isn't she a turquoise company? In this image, you can observe a photo of myself taken approximately 12 years in the past. during the early days of our very first pizzeria venture. You know, I have been pondering over this, and I would assert that I constructed a company characterized by a strong emphasis on practicality, common sense, and sound judgment. And I want us to keep constructing a company based on common sense. What type of company is this? What is the organization that embodies common sense? It is founded on a set of core values. Values create principles, management principles, decision-making principles. I've already talked about the principles today. All this affects the company. And of course, this is experience. And you see, here is someone else's experience and our experience. Other people's experience is documented in books and sought after by consultants. This is the experience of other companies that we consistently fail to take advantage of. And our experience, our insights are invaluable. We understand the context of the business. We understand the time. We understand the specifics of our development, the stages of our development. All this forms a company of common sense, a structure that can change, be one today, another tomorrow, different in different parts of the company, but all based on common sense, principles, and tools gained from experience we have accumulated. I consistently formed a company of individuals with leadership qualities. What is the significance of this statement? This company, that's why I can't say we're a turquoise company. This is a company where practically every employee is an owner of some part of the business, which is why I can't categorize us as a turquoise company. The fact that every employee has ownership stakes sets us apart. In the realm of product management, there is a specific English term that holds great significance: ownership. He is either the product owner or the business owner. It is his responsibility for this specific part of the business that he oversees and manages. He has the ability to make decisions autonomously. He is capable of making errors. Additionally, he bears the responsibility for this enterprise. He demonstrates and exudes competence in this particular area of the business, showcasing his expertise and contributing to its success. And you know, acquaintances, I despise the term leader, in spite of the fact that I mentioned we are not a recruitment firm. Why don't I like the word leader? I even, when I need to say the word leader, I always intuitively call myself. Intuitively, I feel some unnaturalness because a leader is a person who leads, who stands on top and tells you what to do. I perceive our company as a company comprised of partners. I have consistently built strong and collaborative partnerships with my dedicated and talented colleagues throughout my career. Regardless of our level of responsibility, it is always a partnership because each person is accountable for a part of the business. This partnership interaction exists at all levels, emphasizing the significance of every individual's contribution to the organization's success. Do we have a hierarchy? How can I view the hierarchy? I will provide you with information about it at this moment. And I perceive a company indeed. We have an organizational structure. It is alive. It constantly undergoes changes. But it is a company where the owners, where each and every individual is responsible for something. Each and every individual interacts with one another. What is ownership? This is trust. Trust in a person that he can make decisions, he can make mistakes. It is important to learn from these mistakes because he is responsible and has the ability to correct and achieve the desired results in the future. What do we trust? We trust the person personally. In general, a good person, as they say, is not a profession. And everyone who comes to the company, we personally, this is our principle. We trust that people act from good intentions. However, when it comes to ownership, we undeniably place our trust in competence, experience, intuition, expertise, talent, and the wisdom that has been accumulated through years of valuable experience, learning from mistakes, and successfully navigating through various stages of growth and development. And we assign a person a portion of the business and state. Based on your competencies and the knowledge you have acquired, you can assume responsibility for this specific segment of the business. And if he grows up and is able to handle more, he is able to handle more. And now, friends, I simply want to provide a rough outline of the hierarchy, similar to our company. It works in reality, and I believe it should work. Again, how will this be in real? This, let's say, common sense. And you, here it is. As everything can evolve, the main thing is that the principles do not change. Company Onroff, There is SEO. SEO is responsible for such a large circle. Regarding the overall strategy, as for the key team, it is important to know who is included in this team and the overall culture of the company. That is, SEO does not indicate what to do at each and every stage. Even when someone says, well, Fedor comes somewhere and says how it should be. But when Fedor comes and says how it should be, it means he puts on the hat, in certain cases, now less and less, the hat of a person who has some experience, expertise, possibly in this product, to help. It is evident that search engine optimization, SEO, is also attainable and within reach of achieving desired results. I will take care of it, but it is crucial to separate these roles. But the decision still has to be made by the one who, if Fedor or the SEO informs someone, it can be done. That is the conclusion. The ultimate decision needs to be made by the owner who assumed responsibility for this specific part of the business operations. SEO is accountable for the entire strategy and doesn't work alone. It collaborates with other teams to achieve success, making it an integral part of the overall marketing strategy. There exists a board of directors that represents the shareholders. And in actuality, the board of directors places trust and confidence in the SEO strategy that has been implemented and the implementation of the company's strategy. Trusts, that does not deal with company management. How would everything really, we trust the vision of SEO. We are actively searching for and providing an opportunity in this position to an individual who is truly and genuinely responsible for the strategy, vision, and culture of the company. There are additional individuals who play a role in influencing SEO strategies and outcomes. SEO is open and the company is fully operational. These are partners who have an influence, and they are our employees, of course, in the pizzeria and in the management company. These are customers, guests of our pizzerias who are writing. Reviews provide valuable feedback and insightful recommendations. This is, of course, a society that we are also open to, which also expresses its thoughts and perspectives freely and openly. Communication about how the company works. Next, inside the strategy, there are the following circles and the following products. Each person is accountable for something, and SEO does not indicate the financial aspect of how to accomplish it. Just SEO agrees with everything before that. That is, being the owner of the strategy, he hears everyone, all teams and partners and shareholders during its creation process. A strategy is adopted, accepted by all. Because we have trust in SEO, if someone has a disagreement, let's say with the decision, however, as we have trust in him, and this is the principle of trust, that's what we say. Yes, we will proceed as we have committed to it. You are deserving and well suited for this important role that you have been given. And SEO also places trust in all the leaders within the teams, fostering a culture of constant mutual work and collaboration that is highly valued. However, there is ownership, meaning there is already a strategy and finances are used to implement this strategy. How is it? The financial director decides himself. This his responsibility, it's his product. There is also trust here. How to do it, the opportunity to learn, make mistakes, trust. This trust is given to leaders, and it is an important aspect of the environment. And inside each team, there are other teams, products, where everything is organized in this way. I perceive our company as interconnected circles, each symbolizing a unique facet of our organization's dynamics. Leaders who are prepared to listen, whom we trust, and who demonstrate competence and a willingness to take responsibility for their actions. This is very important for leadership. What is the power of our company, friends? Power, in principle, ownership is responsibility. This is responsibility for some part of the business. This is the mission that I am carrying out, a specific mission in business. Common mission of company, I am fulfilling it. This applies to everyone in general. Everyone has some kind of end product, even a project and a task, when you understand its meaning and not just a formal KPI. You also become the owner of it. You possess this project, a small product, and it has a certain mission within our business. And it is crucial that this method, when there are trusted leaders within the organization, every leader, because all of this gradually spreads, all teams to the level of each individual. And ultimately, we ourselves are a team because each of us possesses some project. And we anticipate from every leadership, and leadership is vision, it is the capability to take responsibility. Sometimes a person's level of experience allows them to put forward bold hypotheses, strategies that may not be confirmed. And if a person, again, has sufficient experience, and we have weighed everything from a financial point of view, we can make decisions that seem very risky or that someone disagrees with. But if the owner did it, we give the opportunity to do it. And a company where there is leadership, it is ready to make these bold decisions. It is ready to make innovations, breakthroughs, bold plans. And why are we not a turquoise company, actually? Because a turquoise company is, after all, primarily focused on self-management, it is more of a vague and shared responsibility. Once again, I would like to reiterate why I am not fully supportive of the theory of turquoise companies. This is because I am not stating that there is a turquoise company in existence to any degree, as long as you read and understand my perspective. In my opinion, I think this is being taken to the extreme, because you see absolute leadership and complete self-management are both considered extreme approaches that can be seen as going to extremes. I am typically a supporter of the middle way, when everything comes together at the same time, together, not either, but both, in harmony. And, you know, this philosophical question, what, let's say, leadership or self-governance, seems to me like a debate. I am generally, a historian by education, a debate about what is more important in history, in the history of mankind, personality or some kind of collective movement. That is, certain processes that the individual does not really influence. This is a big dispute. I believe that, for example, there is a philosophical problem, a question, not a problem, who determines our fate, us personally or circumstances. And here I will respond once more by drawing an analogy with surfing, because that is how I perceive life during times when you are unable to catch a wave, when there are no waves, when the ocean is calm, and you are unable to catch a wave when you are unable to surf, when there are no waves present. That is, it is both things. And here, the context has an impact on us, and we as individuals are personally affected at the same time. And there are efforts being made to assert that self-government alone lacks a certain vision or perspective. Simply grasp the concept of vision and leadership, understanding their significance and the qualities they entail, right? Upon arrival, the leader expressed, "We are in need of creating an application, for instance. Let us proceed with the development." And he is in this position. We believed in him that he can be in this position. And if it were self-government, perhaps it would never have happened. And I'm for combining, i.e., for a mix, because a leader without self-government, without a team, and in some areas it's very necessary, it's the clap of one hand. And self-management without visionary leadership is like clapping with one hand. Therefore, I am in favor of a combination of leadership, self-organization. In general, I see, again, our company is a company where everyone is a leader. Just the level of products is different for everyone.